Lesson 97, Relations and Functions. In the picture here, you can see the circle functions is inside the bigger circle relations. So all functions are relations, but not all relations are functions. So first, let's look at what a relation and a function are. A relation is just a pairing of two sets of information. So if you think about a phone book, you have a person's name attached to a phone number. Or you think about athletics, you have a person's name attached to their jersey number. Those are relations. They're a pairing of two sets of information. A function is one input can only have one output. So if you have two numbers combined together, you can only have one number paired up with another number. So when we think of ordered pairs, the x-coordinate can only be partnered up with only one y-coordinate. And to determine if a relation is a function, we can use the vertical line test to determine if a graph is a function. In the picture here, we have a circle. The vertical line test just tells you to take your draw a vertical line through your graph like this. And if it touches your graph in two places on that line, then it's not a function. Since it crosses this point and this point, this is not a function because the x-coordinate 2 has two y values. It can't get you a 2 here and a -2 there if you're putting it into the same equation. So that is not a function. So let's take a look at another example. Different relations are graphed below. Which of these are also functions? So we can use the vertical line test. So I'm just going to draw a vertical line in each one of these graphs. And it doesn't matter where, as long as it's a vertical line. And then I'm going to put a point where it crosses the blue line. It only crosses the blue line there, crosses the blue line once there, crosses the blue line here, here, and here. So which one of these are also functions? Well, A is a function because it only crosses it once right here. B is a function because it crosses it only once right there. C is not because it crosses the graph here, here, and here. The vertical line can only cross the graph in one place. Next, state whether each graph is a function. So we'll do our vertical line test. It only crosses it once here, so yes, this is a function. Right here. No, it's not because it crosses here and here. Next problem. Sketch a circle on the coordinate plane with its center on the origin and the radius of 5. The circle's graph is a relation. List 4 pairs of points in the relation, and then is that relation a function? So if it has a radius of 5, that means I put a point on 5 here, 5 here, 5 here, and 5 here because the center of the circle is here. The radius is half of it. Now I can draw my circle. And now I'm going to write my points in here. And since I have 5 points here, I'm just going to choose 4 of them. So I have 0 and a -5. That's this one. I have 5, 0 is this one. I have 0, 5, which is this one. And I have -5, 0, which is this point. So I have 4 pairs of points, but you'll notice this one And this one, I have the same x value of 0, but they give me two different y values. One gives me a -5 and the other one gives me a 5. So is this relation a function? No, because one x value can only give me one y value. And if I did the vertical line test, it crosses that graph in three places: here, here, and here. So it can only cross it once. So a clue to determine if it's a function or not, look at your x values. If your x values repeat, they must have to have the same y value. If they don't, then it's not a function. Next problem, determine if each table is a function. So now here, I'm going to check my x values. I have a 3 here, I have a 3 here, but are my y's the same? This one has a 5, this one has a 9. Since they're not the same, this is not a function, because I can't put a 3 in an equation and get a 5 one time, put a 3 in that same equation and get a 9. That's impossible. Same thing with this 2 here and this 2 here. They give me two different y values. So that is not a function. Letter D over here. If I check my x's, none of them repeat. My y's, I have a 5 here and a 5 here. That is okay, because as long as I have one x partnered with one y, that will work. So yes, this is a function. You just can't have x's repeat and give you two different y values. Next one, Preston gathered data on the number of students at school and the time he arrived. Look at the graph to see the data points and answer the questions. How many students might Preston see 10 minutes before school starts? So minutes before school, 10 minutes is right here. If I go across, how many would that be? We would say about 22 students. Maybe somebody might say 21. 21, 22, that would be okay. Letter B, how many students might Preston expect to see 8 minutes before school? If I go to 8 and go across, it's a little bit over the 30. I would consider this one about 32 students. That is our lesson today on relations and functions.